Merci à tous, diplômés et familles, d'être avec nous aujourd'hui. Welcome to the 2017 graduation ceremony. First of all, thank you very much to all of you, TSC graduates and their families, for being here with us today. Nous allons maintenant ouvrir cette cérémonie avec Madame Mascala, présidente de l'Université Toulouse-Capitole. It's time now to open the ceremony with Mrs. Mascala, President of Toulouse-Capitole University.
Monsieur le Président, Monsieur le Doyen, chers collègues, Mesdames, Messieurs, chers étudiants, c'est un très grand plaisir de vous accueillir dans notre université et d'ouvrir cette cérémonie de remise des diplômes des masters de l'École d'économie de Toulouse. Je profite immédiatement de ces quelques mots d'accueil pour adresser mes chaleureuses félicitations aux lauréats qui, dans quelques instants, vont recevoir leur diplôme. L'Université Toulouse-Capitole et la faculté d'économie ont osé, il y a 10 ans, faire un pari, créer une grande école dans l'université. Ce pari courageux nous permettait d'être à la pointe de l'innovation et de l'expérimentation. Cela a supposé la réunion de toutes les énergies, une volonté et un travail collectif considérable qui a mobilisé nombre d'entre vous, enseignants-chercheurs, et la gouvernance de l'université. Ensemble, nous avons cru qu'il était possible, au sein d'une université, d'une grande université, de créer une grande école qui permettait de réunir le meilleur des deux structures, école et université. Ainsi est née l'École d'économie de Toulouse qui fête cette année ses 10 ans. Quel pari, quel succès! 10 années d'engagement sans faille de tous, toujours tournés vers les projets d'avenir pour développer l'école, pour accroître l'excellence de ses formations et de sa recherche. L'intégration de l'école d'économie dans notre université constitue une double opportunité. Je suis persuadée que c'est une réelle opportunité pour une école d'être intégrée dans l'université. Cela garantit son fonctionnement, son développement, le développement de ses formations dans un environnement universitaire de haut niveau. Université qui, aujourd'hui, bénéficiant de l'autonomie et des compétences élargies, peut faire des recrutements d'enseignants-chercheurs de très grande qualité, tant au plan national qu'au plan international. Et cette volonté de l'excellence, cette volonté de la recherche du haut niveau, nous l'avons ensemble et c'est un de nos objectifs d'avenir. Mais c'est aussi une opportunité pour l'université d'avoir en son sein une école qui représente sa composante économie, car évidemment c'est porteur pour l'université d'une image de marque, d'une réputation liée à la qualité de la recherche de l'école d'économie, à la qualité de ses enseignants-chercheurs. Tout ceci bénéficie à l'ensemble de notre établissement. Cela nous donne une visibilité internationale qui nous permet, et je dois dire qu'UT1 Capitole en profite largement, d'être classé à Shanghai et très récemment d'être les brillants lauréats au titre du PIA 3 de l'appel à projet École universitaire de recherche. Ce modèle innovant, qui continue de faire figure d'exception dans le paysage universitaire français, est reconnu par tous comme une grande réussite. L'école a acquis en peu de temps, à l'échelle de l'enseignement supérieur bien sûr, une remarquable notoriété grâce au travail, à l'implication, aux compétences, à l'enthousiasme de vous tous, de tous nos collègues et aussi de tous nos partenaires qui sont des soutiens essentiels, partenaires qui font preuve d'une remarquable fidélité, d'un véritable attachement à cette école. Vous avez eu, chers étudiants, la chance d'intégrer l'école d'économie et vous pouvez aujourd'hui être légitimement fiers d'en être diplômés. Vous avez suivi un cursus complet jusqu'au master. Vous avez reçu une formation d'excellence qui vous donne tous les atouts pour réussir dans votre vie professionnelle. Vous avez eu la chance, et je suis persuadée que vous en avez conscience, mais je préfère le rappeler ici, vous avez eu la chance d'être encadré par une équipe d'enseignants-chercheurs d'une qualité exceptionnelle. Et comme vous étiez vous-même de très bons étudiants, eh bien la rencontre devait déboucher sur votre réussite immédiate et future, je n'en doute pas. L'objectif est atteint, la preuve, nous allons aujourd'hui fêter votre succès par la remise de ces diplômes. Alors cette cérémonie de remise des diplômes marque certes une fin, mais aussi un nouveau départ. Une fin d'un cursus, du cursus classique, et malgré tout, certains d'entre vous vont rester avec nous, puisque vous allez continuer vos études à l'université en vous engageant dans la voie de la formation doctorale. Vous allez passer du master au doctorat, ce qui vous conduira vers de nouvelles découvertes universitaires. Mais la plupart d'entre vous, enfin beaucoup d'entre vous, vont entrer directement dans la vie professionnelle, partout dans le monde, et j'espère qu'à vous tous, nous vous aurons donné, par votre formation, les moyens qui vous permettront de vous adapter à toutes les situations, d'avoir un avenir professionnel épanouissant qui réponde à vos attentes et à vos espoirs. L'école d'économie et l'université comptent désormais sur vous pour que vous soyez partout dans le monde, dans tous les milieux professionnels, les meilleurs ambassadeurs de votre école, de l'école dont vous êtes diplômé et de l'université au sein de laquelle vous avez été formé. Pour conclure, je réitère donc à vous tous toutes mes chaleureuses félicitations et mes vœux les meilleurs pour la poursuite de votre vie professionnelle et universitaire. Je vous remercie.
J'invite maintenant Stéphane Grégoire, doyen de TSE, à me rejoindre sur scène. I'm now inviting Stéphane Grégoire, Dean of the School, to join me on stage.
Madame la Présidente, Mrs. Vignol, representing Madame la Rectrice, who couldn't be with us this afternoon, dear Jean, dear parents, dear graduates, dear alumni, dear colleagues. I'm very pleased to be here with you this afternoon for this fourth TSE graduation ceremony. I'm Stéphane Grégoire, the Dean of the School, and I do feel honored to stand in front of you for this special occasion. First, I would like to congratulate our students for their academic success. This last year, I know have been very demanding. I hope sometimes time has been exciting, but maybe also sometimes exhausting. But in any case, I'm confident that you have learned a lot and that you are proud of achieving success in your studies. I am proud of you. Not only have you learned a lot in economics, econometrics, statistics and finance, but you have also learned from the discussion you had with people, all the people you have met at TEC and with whom you have worked. These students and professors with whom you have shared this moment come from different countries with their own culture, their own values, and their own sense of humor too. In a way, if you would ask me to summarize the school spirit, I would say that it is most of all cosmopolitan. In your everyday life at TSC, you have experienced the benefit of these exchanges and the true virtue of open-mindedness. As a matter of fact, I do believe you are right to try to understand our world. You know that we need to not only learn with humility and patience, but also with intellectual rigor and honesty, even in our personal and professional relationships. And I hope it is part of what our school has fostered in you. This is important, especially as today, all over the world, fear and xenophobic speeches become more and more frequent and listened to. Understanding our ever-changing world and trying to find our role in it, or simply being a good citizen, is difficult and demanding, even for highly trained and educated people like you and I. I do think there is no simple narrative relying on an honest, scientific and benevolent point of view, able to give you a complete insight of the world you live in and its evolution. It simply doesn't exist, and simplistic, totalizing narratives are deceptive. So, modestly, you have to read a lot about very different topics to decipher and puzzle over a lot of fragmented information. This situation may naturally generate fear and frustration among people who have not been trained, among people who cannot master technically and sophisticated vocabulary. Therefore, it is our responsibility as trained people to take into account the situation of those who are not and their possible confusion. We have to show some solidarity and not abuse of our partial understanding to take undue advantages of the situation. Remaining attentive to this matter is our collective responsibility. Simone Weil, the philosopher, wrote, "Attention is the rarest and the purest form of generosity." Basically, it is all we have to make our life an individual story. The way we show attention to our environment, to our family, to our friends, to strangers, to the discovery of new ideas or simply artworks, all this will weave the fabric of your life thread by thread. But today, our attention is under high demand, constantly captured by many services provided by mobile devices, and so easily diverted from what we may have chosen to focus on. Attention is a finite resource, and its use must remain under control. I would therefore invite you to be attentive to this issue, so to your use of your own attention, and take time to reconsider regularly what is important for you and stick to your decision. Don't let your attention be distracted by pointless matter. Today you are about to embrace a career, a very promising one indeed. You might wonder how to allocate your attention to find the right balance between your professional and personal life, and also how to pay attention to those around you. Here are some pieces of advice. First, you will only be successful if you are hardworking. Remember to always stay modest. You are at the beginning of the professional journey. If you do not want to miss opportunities, and always be proud of your work and decision, be open-minded, rigorous, intellectually honest, persistent, and also, as I told you earlier this year during our farewell party, keep being curious, keep learning. The world is changing quickly. What you will be doing in 10 years from now will be mainly based on new ideas, new techniques, and new tools. I trust your curiosity has already grown during your time here at TEC, and I do encourage you to keep nurturing it over the years. Curiosity will also help you make well-grounded and so better decisions with a more accurate understanding of your environment. Second, you will not be successful alone. We all benefit from the support of family members, friends, and professional relations, and you must be attentive to the amount of time you will dedicate to them. Among all these people, always remember that you especially owe a lot to your parents. As time goes by, as you get older, there will come a day when you realize that the way you say words or show particular expression, the way you tilt your head, the way you move your hand when you talk, all these are things you observe in your father or your mother. As much as this behavior used to irritate you when you were young, well, they are now part of who you are now, and they are part of your lineage, and you must be proud of it. Curiosity is an important thing, but listening is another. Success in your professional life and activities, social relationship, will come more easily if you keep nurturing your ability to listen to people and to understand their point of view. This skill will make you more convincing and successful in your professional life. It will also make you a better citizen and parent, Dialogue is more fruitful when we take into account other people's perspectives, which bring us back to the subject of values and our genuine interest in other people. I will end this speech with a request to you, our graduate students from TSC. We need you. We need your feedback in order to improve our programs, to improve our organization, to improve our services. The staff of the school is highly dedicated, available, and attentive. I am sure many of you have benefited from their help and support. On this matter, I will take the opportunity of this speech to say a big thank you to all of them, they are there mainly, and particularly to the person who organized the ceremony very efficiently and very professionally. So, nevertheless, we still need to make some progress. So you might wonder why. We need to learn from you and your experience at TSC. Our school is facing big challenges today. We need your help to remain in competition with highly reputed and far more older departments in well-known universities all over the world. TSC is young, is only 10 years old. And we want you to be proud of being TSC graduates, and we also want you to be our ambassadors throughout the world to promote the school, its spirit, and its programs. Lastly, on a more personal note, let me tell you that I was born in a town on the seaside by the North Sea, in the north of France, and we have a long tradition there of bidding friends goodbye using old nautical expression. I therefore wish you fair winds and following seas. Thank you very much for your attention, and once again, congratulations on your job.
Je suis heureuse d'appeler maintenant Romain Salis, président de l'association des diplômés TSE. I'm pleased to call Romain Salis.
Many thanks, Mr. Grégoire, for those words and also for your tireless work in helping our school to grow and to keep on achieving at such high level. Dear graduates, I'm honored to be here again this year for this new graduation ceremony in the presence of such distinguished speakers. I would like to thank everyone here today for contributing to the success of this major event in the life of our school. After this year of studies, 5 years at our Grande École in the university, for the most devoted among you, it's time to leave TSC armed with a prestigious key that will unlock the gates to a future career. It's your degree. You will take away countless memories from this year of studies, punctuated by the many events and celebrations organized by various school associations, but also long days and perhaps evening too of revising. This graduation ceremony marks the end of this beautiful adventure, but also a beginning of a new one. I have the pleasure to welcome you into our community, the community of Toulouse School of Economics alumni. As many of you know, this annual event is preceded by another event, which is just as important as this. It's the Business Networking Day. Indeed, these days are an exclusive opportunity for meetings between alumni, a community that you now belong to, and I am delighted to represent here, and students. These days are an opportunity to share your professional experience and to support the early stage of our student careers. As such, I'm hoping to see you, many of you, next year to build on the growing success of this event. As alumni and members of the network, we are here to take the baton from the teachers and support you as best we can at the start of your career. To do so, we encourage you to take full advantage of an exceptional resource we are offering to you. I'm thinking, of course, about the TSC Alumni Platform, with which you are all familiar, I hope. I strongly recommend you to use it, like the social network it is, to stay connected with your fellow graduates, but also with all the TSC alumni and students. What's more, this platform enables the school administration to follow your progress throughout your career and interact with you to invite you to some events, such as today, amongst others. I always say that TSC enabled me to travel, staying in Toulouse. The cultural diversity which we encounter every day within the school, as well as the diverse lessons we receive, are so many factors in our success. As graduates, you are now the worthy ambassador of TSC, and you deserve to be very proud of this. Have faith in the future, never give up, be creative, optimistic, and positive. For you, the best is yet to come, it's clear for me. So, again, congratulations to you all, and see you soon again, I hope. Thank you very much.
Alors, le moment est venu maintenant d'écouter Jean Tirole, président de Toulouse School of Economics. And now it's time to hear Jean Tirole, chairman of the Toulouse School of Economics.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm pleased to welcome Professor Mireille Vignol, who is representing the rector, Hélène Bernard, dear President Corinne Mascala, dear Dean Stéphane Grégoire, dear Romain Salis, who just heard, President of our Alumni Network Association, dear friends and colleagues, and especially dear graduates of the class of 2017. Let me start with an anecdote. A little over 3 years ago, I was in my office working with a colleague of mine on Céline on a grant proposal for the European Research Council, and it was about noon. And at that point of time, I received a call, and my phone was on a vibrating mode because I was not expecting any phone call, but it kept vibrating. At some point, I looked at the phone, and I saw that was a phone number starting with 46. For those of you who don't know, 46 is a dialing code for Sweden. So I take the phone, and then someone with, I think I'm not an expert, Swedish accent, start telling me that I was getting the Nobel Prize. And at that point of time, you think it's a practical joke. And then I ask him, who are the other laureates? And he tells me, you're by yourself. And then I knew it was a practical joke. And then, fortunately, they passed me through with a couple of other people, world-famous scientists, Thorsten Persson and Tore Ellingsson, and I know their voice. And then I realized that it might be true. At the time, I really didn't know. By the way, you have only a few minutes before the press conference happened. It's actually quite something, I must say. But at the time, I didn't really know what was happening to me then, and I still don't know. But what I know is that it was the start of an incredible adventure which has changed many things in my life. Oh, by the way, you may wonder why I have a different gown. Not because I want to show off and be different from the others, my colleagues, but simply, and by the way, it's not the Nobel gown either. It's just that I graduated a long time ago from MIT, and that's my alma mater. And I wish, but TSC didn't exist at the time, so I could not graduate from TSC. That's why I have an MIT gown. Now, I was talking about the big change in my life, but I believe today marks a similar change for you. You might not think about it right now, but in a few years' time, you will look back to your years spent at TSC, hopefully with fond memories of both the classrooms and the happy hours, maybe the Quai Saint-Pierre. And then you will realize how your lives have changed since then, realize how far you have come. This important day marks the end of your 5 years of studies, discoveries, doubts, hard work, and of course, student discounts. Your new degree comes with many opportunities, but also a few duties. As trained economists, and more importantly, as TSC graduates, you will have to relentlessly represent the excellence of our institution, and the rigor of our common passion, economics. You graduate today in an era of worldwide challenges that are more than ever in need of economics. How can we manage the digital revolution to benefit society and protect workers? How can we control climate change to protect and respect our planet? How can we ensure that increasingly complex financial systems stay healthy and efficient? How can we ensure that generosity and reason will prevail against populism? You are the generation that will tackle this and so many other daunting but exciting challenges. At a time when science is regularly attacked and knowledge disregarded, when economics is often misunderstood and reduced to simple ideas, you will have to stand your ground and relentlessly explain why science and knowledge are so important for the world and its future. You will have to show that what economics is capable of and how to make this world a better place. You have the talent and the tools. Don't stop until you know you are at your very best. And even then, don't rest on your laurels. You all can do amazing things. You just graduated from one of the top 10 or 15 best economics departments in the world, and we need you to represent TSE's excellence everywhere you go. You also graduate today from a community that you will remain part of, and you will always be welcome here. You also join a very important alumni network. We are a young but growing institution, and you must be ready to help each other and open new doors for the coming generation. I hope your fellow alumni will help you as much as they can, and I'm sure that in time, you also help future graduates and exchange tips, testimonies, and fond memories. I encourage you to use the TSE LinkedIn, Facebook, and alumni platforms, both to pursue your own career and to keep in touch with your TSE family. In conclusion, I would like to say a few words of thanks. To everyone who has supported you on your journey here, remember them and be grateful. Dean Stéphane Grégoire mentioned that we owe a lot to our friends, to our family, to our environment, and I'm very pleased that not only the graduates are here, but also the families and the entire environment are here, and you owe them a lot. Thank you to the TSE professors and administrative staff who demonstrate passion in their work and a generosity of spirit in their relationship with the students. This is very crucial in my view, and I'm very grateful for them for that. Thank you to President Corinne Mascala, whose ongoing support is essential in making TSE and the University of Toulouse shine on the world map. And finally, I would like to thank very warmly Jean-Pierre Ansen for accepting to be the patron of the TSE fourth class. Unfortunately, Jean-Pierre has had his prime in the last 2 days and was unable to fly. He was very sorry about that. He could not be among us. And we are longing for his words of wisdom. He has always been very supportive of our institution, and his word of wisdom will be read by Professor Uli Eger, director of TSE. So many, many thanks to all of you, and I wish you the best for your future. Thank you.
Comme mentionné par Jean, j'ai le plaisir d'accueillir Ulrich Egge.
Mr. Jean-Pierre Ansen, Honorary President of Electrabel, former Vice President of Suez Group, today Engie, and corresponding member of the Institut de France, is the sponsor of the class of 2017. Unfortunately, Mr. Hansen had a health problem and had to be taken to the hospital 2 days ago. He tells us, however, that his health condition is improving rapidly, and we wish him a very speedy and smooth recovery. On behalf of Mr. Jean-Pierre Hansen, I first want to tell you how sorry he is that he cannot be with us today. I will deliver his speech. The speech is written in the first person. Obviously, the I in the speech is Mr. Hansen. Je vais le dire en français. Monsieur Jean-Pierre Hansen, président honoraire de Electrabel, ancien vice-président du groupe Suez, aujourd'hui Annecy, et membre correspondant de l'Institut de France, et les parrains de la promotion de 2017. Malheureusement, M. Hansen ne peut pas être avec nous en cause d'un problème de santé. Il a dû être hospitalisé il y a 2 jours. Il nous dit que sa santé s'améliore très vite et nous nous souhaitons tous nos voeux pour qu'il récupère au plus vite possible. De la part de M. Hansen, je veux d'abord vous dire à quel point il regrette de ne pas pouvoir être avec nous aujourd'hui. Je vais délivrer son adresse qui est écrite en la première personne, donc le I, le je, c'est M. Hansen. Dear graduates, dear professors, ladies and gentlemen, it's a great honor and a very pleasant duty for me to address you today on graduation day. I myself taught economics to engineering students for 22 years. It's the only extreme sport that I ever practiced, and memories of similar speeches remind me that it's customary to talk about one's career and derive a few messages from it for students. This exercise would be presumptuous if it didn't allow the speaker himself to reflect ex post on what he did ex ante. My professional life began in 1974, the year of the first energy crisis, also described as a year of change, breaking with the 30 glorious years preceding it, and the year that set a tone for the next 40 years, as far as I was concerned. What made me choose the electricity sector was the fact that this very particular product is simultaneously a commercial commodity, an industrial raw material, a strategically important sector, and a public service. But it has other characteristics too. And since I'm addressing an audience of economists, I would add this. Firstly, the form of its market equilibria would have astonished Walras himself. Secondly, how power plants are run is based on Ricardo's theory of rent, which would have stupefied that London-based banker who wrote by candlelight. Thirdly, the different forms of electricity can be analyzed by applying Gresham's law, who would not have imagined this when counting his good and bad currencies. And fourthly and lastly, competition can be waged either by the market, as Adam Smith already theorized, or for the market, as Chadwick had foreseen it in the 19th century, even if today he is, wrongly in my view, somewhat forgotten. Over the past 20 years, the sector has undergone an extraordinary industrial transformation, driven, as ever where energy is concerned, by a mixture of technology on the one hand and political decisions on the other. In the mid-1980s, the economic and political doxa changed. It could be said that the second round of the battle between Keynes and Hayek, which Keynes won in 1930, saw Hayek take revenge for the primacy of the market that can always settle everything for everyone, all by itself, prevailed. Though a third round in the clash between these two mighty economists may soon be in the offing. Europe embarked on this path, above all by liberalizing the so-called network industries, which had previously been monopolistic and regulated, and in particular by seeking to do this, on the one hand, through competition alone, to the specific detriment of industrial policy. Something that neither the United States nor China did, and on the other hand, by applying the same principles to all the sectors involved, telecoms, air transportation, electricity, and so on. In short, we set our gaze firmly in one direction, staring towards the offices of the European Union's Directorate General Competition. The results of this are very mixed indeed. Brussels hollowly recognizes this fact itself, because the European Commission sums up these reforms by saying that the price of telecommunications has dropped sharply, the supply of air transport has risen sharply, and consumers of electricity can now all choose their own supplier. This is true. But where electricity is concerned, very little has been achieved compared to the Union's original ambitions. Today, the electricity sector is embarking on another transformation, one involving one or more energy transitions. Undoubtedly a road strewn with uncertainties. Yet there's also reason to hope that it turns out to be a road of promise. As you can hear, I'm still speaking about these electric years and the future of energy with passion, maybe even too much. So this is my first message as you choose a career and start off in your first job. I suggest you base your choice on one criterion only: passion. Do what you like doing, and I hope has always been the case. But to tell you the truth, being satisfied with your professional life also presupposes that you can work in line with certain values. For me, on reflection, the single value that has prevailed throughout my career can be summed up in a single question: can and should the market economy be fair? You will retort, what is a fair economy? My answer is that it's an economy that leads to a good life for the largest number of people. And a good life, according to the definition coined by Berkeley philosopher Judith Butler, is simply one that deserves to be mourned. However, I would also like to point out that we are not just talking about good feelings here. For the market economy, it could be a matter of survival. Indeed, in 1942, the great Joseph Schumpeter, familiar to you from his theory of innovation and the entrepreneur, also wrote a book entitled Capitalism, Socialism and Democracy, in which he quite simply forecast the long-term death of the market economy. He said, in 100 years. Not that it was doomed to collapse under the weight of his own contradiction, as Marx predicted. No, Schumpeter saw it being abandoned because it had never led to a general feeling of adhesion. And it's true that we've hardly ever seen a demonstration in France between Bastille Square and the Square of the Republic in support of the market economy. Unlike corporatism or communism, which have mobilized crowds, though always for the worse, capitalism and the market struggle to get people behind them. Schumpeter said this was, and I quote, because yesterday's achievements are forgotten and today's problems obscure tomorrow's promises. Another factor behind this rejection was what Schumpeter called the enduring hostility of intellectuals. The only solution we can see to escape the Austrian economist's somber prophecy is to promote a temperate market economy. And the first person to have recommended this in the late 1930s is not some alternative figure, but rather Adolf Berle, a New York banker and lawyer, diplomat and advisor to Roosevelt. So here's my second message. At a time when I believe that mounting inequality and its perception by the people, uncertainties about the volume and above all the nature of work, the temptation to pull back from multiculturalism or the rift in solidarity make it highly relevant. You need to strive to reconcile Wall Street and Main Street as far as possible. Today, along with your professors, I'm extremely proud of you. You can and should approach your glorious next 30 years with confidence. I wish you and those whom you hold dear all the best and good luck.
Nous allons maintenant lancer la remise des diplômes sur scène. Let's now start the graduation ceremony on stage. Nous allons démarrer tout d'abord avec David Allary, responsable du Master Economics and Competition Law.
Sorry for the parents that believe us, they worked also, and maybe more than have fun. And I'm really proud because the Master Economics and Competition Law, they suffer since 5 years under my supervision. Then I have them during the first year of the bachelor degree in microeconomics. I'm sure that they remember. I remember. I'm really proud of them. Then the major of the master is Henrik Armand. Baptiste Curello. Kim Dulon. Adrien Fratkin. Hélène Gallo. Alice Ebrard. Romain Ledoux. Marilène Pierre. Roxana Pozzo. Nassera Kari. Hugo Roth. Hélène Tran.
Responsable du Master Economic Theory and Econometrics.
Just a few words before calling you. There are many reasons to be delighted today. Thanksgiving is now over. We are not going to kill a turkey, but you will be decorated with a new diploma. All of you know that it has been a lot of work. Sometimes you felt doubt, sometimes you felt joy, but today is the day to be proud. You come from so many places from all over the world. Some of you will stay in Toulouse for a few more years to write a PhD and then will go. Some of you already left, but you all belong to the history of TSE. And congratulations to all of you. So unfortunately, the major is not here. Now, Harry Gunstall. I call Louise Eisfeld. González Fonseca. Vatsala Shetty. Fernando Stipanovic Marquez. Angela Virgiana Torres-Corona. Philippe Wagner. And Li Yu. C'est maintenant le tour du Master Public Policy and Development with its Director Jean-Paul Hazan.
Let me start by saying that 46 years and a few weeks ago, I was sitting at the table there. I was starting my courses in economics. I was very happy to join Sciences Po Toulouse, as we were saying at the time. But I want to reassure you, I did not minimize distance on my way from there to here. Okay, the valedictorian. I mean, the major is economics, you know that. So the guy who has the best grade is the valedictorian. Happens to be Gregory Baum. Thank you for making my courses so enjoyable. So the next in line is Wally Aiko. Next, Marie El Attar. Now, Lundi, Andrea, yeah. Destinai Dimitri Pastorus. We've seen her on the screen several times. Anita Benguiadet. Now, Lady Jimena Chaparro Sáenz. And now it's the turn of Omar Lodian. Now it's the turn of Yamina Alba. Now Polan Turkey. First beautiful hat. Now it's the turn of Aram Gassama. Now it's the turn of Mustafa Ghali. Now the next in line is Juliette Guillotot. Another girl, Iso Lefeu. Michel Yussi. And for Diego Milan. Y ahora, Natalia Montoya González. I don't see Marianne. Where is Marianne? Maya Nava. Here. Now it's time for the dog Fran Guillet. Now it's Daisy Reboul. here. So next in line is Marion Sago. Catalina está aquí. Catalina Salazar. Congratulations. You're welcome. Last but not least, we have Joaquin Urgel.
I'm really happy for the Masters in Finance to join me on stage.
So very happy to present the Masters in Finance, and it was my first year as director of the Master in Financial Markets, and I was really amazed by the quality of our students, by their ability to pursue their passion, as it was said, and I can see already now their success in professional life. So as we say in French, bravo, and as we say in Italian, bravi. So I start with the nicest master, the one in financial markets, and I start with the major, Emilienne Simeoni. Next is Ali Mustache. Mingyu Li. Chengwei Lu. Leopold Priet. Lea Benson. So I continue with the next master, the master of the future, the one on finance and information technology, Amadou Ibo. Jules Stock. Ni Yang. Gita Naivi. Rani Zhao.
like to thank this year's graduates in the environmental program for the hard work. We made you work really hard, so we're very pleased and happy to be able to address you today. And as the previous speaker said, I would also like to say my native tongue, what John told also everybody got the Nobel Prize. Gratis till alla. So we start with the nature. Mona, Esther. Maria, Teresa, Aquila. Narcís, Alaba. George Salescu. Luquan Shen. Claire Dahlia. Rika Doro. Nara Nasa. Letizia Bonamale. Last but not least, Nick Sendari.
S'appelle maintenant, pour le Master Economics of Market and Organizations, Estelle Malabotti.
Okay, I'm delighted to be here today to deliver degrees for the past year. I'm really happy to say that you were an excellent school year, attending, working, commenting, arguing sometimes, but it shows how concerned you were about your studies and your future, and by transposition about our training. I just would like to thank you for your remarks and comments, because we were able to implement part of it and what we thought was the best. And this is really important for us that you participate as well to the improvement of our school. So thank you again. So now I'm calling the middle of this school year, this class, but I have to say that it was very difficult to discriminate among the 5 person. You were very, very good. So Anna, Anna Schultz is the major. Now I call Luca Albine. Guillaume Billemont. Juliette Caillot. Vincent Claras. Clément Déon. Olivier Ferrage. Céline Gobson. Sophie Gonzalez. Philippe Anspach. Patrick Hubert. Maximilian Langer. Johanna Laurent. Lula Laroche. Florian Mario. Julie Montels. Ignacio Morales. Thomas Petit. Valeria Plata Franco. Guillaume Salvador. Marina Sánchez del Villar. Eglis Kiyoski. Anders Guillermo Oval.
I'm now inviting Anne-Louise Gazin to join me on stage for the Masters in Statistics and Econometrics.
Sorry, before calling you, I would like to congratulate all of you. I'm very proud of you and I wish you the best for your future. So let me now call the student one first. I'm calling Mihaela Stig. Jean-François Lemignac. Arnaud Godefroy. Louise Boutry. Maxime Dain.
I invite now Fatih Casas and Nour Vedahi, directors of the Master Empirical Economics and Econometrics.
Thank you very much. That was the first promotion of this program, so it's a new program. It is not always easy to set something new, so there are ups and downs. But we did our best to give you first-rate training. And thank you for your input that you make in order to improve this program, because this is really what we are doing. I was very happy to see some of you in the pictures and in the parties, but I have to admit I was not very surprised. Last but not least, as I told you several times, be ambitious and continue your training by reading books and papers. Best wishes.
I call the major of the promotion, Igor Custodio Joao.
So, Igor plans to do a PhD and he asked us to write for him a reference letters. Yes, you have a good one.
I call Jose Alvarez now. Thibaut Daly. Catherine Dobrea. Vincent Forget. Clémence Garnier-Masson. Théodore Guertel. Jean-Luc Carrel. Hugo Lee. Louis Murat.
Congratulations.
Jérémy Lévy. Ivan Palais. Victor Rabi.
Thank you very much.
And Lingui Zheng.
Mesdames, Messieurs, qui êtes assis au premier rang, je vous invite à rejoindre la scène et à vous placer en face de la chaire. Je vais écouter le sens avant. Chers diplômés, pouvez-vous tous vous lever pour la photo officielle?